Red Thread Games has come out with what is called the wokest game ever, Dustborn. And it launched the same day as Black Myth Wukong, and it completely failed. Why would you even dare to debut your game that looks completely like garbage? You could look at this and just tell that this has woke all over. This is like a DEI masterclass on how to have a woke game. And yeah, it came out the same day as Black Myth Wukong. What were they thinking? Now, Smash JT made a video about this, covering the trailer, and sad enough, this game didn't even hit 100 concurrent players on its release day compared to the over 1.4 million that Black Myth Wukong hit almost immediately. It's almost like people would prefer to play games that don't have woke attached to them, right? It's almost like people don't care about DEI because this modern audience that these games are made for don't exist. Nobody ever shows up to financially support something that's made for a modern audience because they don't exist. That's why all the movies, TV shows, you name it, flop. Just like The Acolyte, it got canceled. It got canceled because the modern audience that it was being catered to doesn't exist, guys. And now it looks like Dustborn is already a complete fail. This studio, Red Thread Games, they're probably going to go out of business. Who knows how much money they got to cater to this DEI crowd. If they got ESG money or whatnot, that might be their way out of it. But I have no interest in this game. And to not even hit 100 players on their launch date, that is so sad. That is absolutely sad. I couldn't even imagine being a developer for the studio unless these guys willingly wanted to inject this wokeness in it. So yeah, looking at the gameplay and everything, when Smash JT covered it, I had no interest in it. The characters look weird. It's this weird art style that they choose to do it. All these weird diverse games, even Suicide Squad with Mrs. Freeze had this vibe. And yeah, so not even 100 players. So back in July, there was an interview with PSU where I guess the representative for the game said that the entire game's premise spawned out of a protest against Donald Trump being elected president in 2016. That's the inspiration for this game. That more than enough should tell you that it was definitely going to fail. And fail it did. You know, it couldn't even hit a decent player base. Compare that to Black Myth Wukong again. Like I said, I think at this point it's had over 2 million concurrent players, but within an hour it reached over 1 million. That's absolutely unheard of. It's like the second most played game on Steam at this point, and it's clear that gamers are wanting to spend their time and money on good games. Clearly, that's not Dustborn, so they made it obvious at Red Thread Games. Their priorities are all wrong, right? I can't believe you would make a game inspired by the 2016 election. It's more about virtue signaling, honestly, than actual gaming. And the whole project seems like it's designed in a Sweet Baby Inc. meeting room. Like, imagine Sweet Baby Inc. there with a whole bunch of board directors saying, how can we make the world's worst game ever? And they basically had a checklist of diversity and inclusion boxes to check off. That's what they do, guys. It's ridiculous. I don't even see how anybody could even have that train of thought of whatever progressiveness is. Like, I thank God every day I'm considered some right-wing grifter instead of some weird wokey, because I couldn't live with myself. And to be labeled the wokest game ever, that already has a bad rap attached to it. You know, that's exactly no exaggeration when it comes to what this game is. Again, like I said, the story, the characters, even the art style literally scream Tumblr. This is like a Tumblr aesthetic, a Tumblr's wet dream right here. And it's failing miserably to connect with gamers because this is not what gamers want, guys. This doesn't scream gamers. And, you know, you're trying to create this game that has all these narratives behind it, all these agendas. I guess there's some kind of theming behind it where words are your power or your weapon. And I have no clue. It all sounds really fucking gay, in my opinion. Like, literally, this is like such a terrible premise for a video game. Nothing sounds exciting about it, which is why Dustborn is completely flopping at this point. It's proving once again that gamers just want quality content, good games, good characters, to be entertained. They don't want forced representation, which I always say, if you feel that you need a space to be represented in your media, whether it's a movie, a TV show, or a video game, you're either one, a narcissist, or two, a retard, or three, both. All right. I think it's totally ego driven that these wokies need representation for their sexual orientation or their ethnicity. It's like it's cringe. It's absolute cringe. And so I think with the way that things are going for this developer, I think Dustborn's set to join this ever growing pile of DEI games that are just flops. You know, Suicide Squad joined not too long ago. It's a pile of games that nobody asked for, nobody wants to play. I mean, again, can't even hit 100 concurrent players on release date. To be honest, it seems like almost on a near daily basis, more and more developers are learning that it's a bad thing to give in to this woke mob, that it's a bad thing to give in to DEI. To be honest, it seems like it's a near daily basis that developers are starting to learn that it's a bad thing to give in to these DEI consulting companies, to give in to the woke mob. I mean, look how successful Black Myth Wukong is doing after the whole alleged extortion scheme from Sweet Baby Inc. came out. They told Sweet Baby Inc., screw you. And even though they fought through some hit pieces about misogyny and sexism, they're doing great. Don't give in to cancel culture. Don't give in to the woke practices that these gaming industry political activists have. The fix is in. These guys have been controlling the narrative for so long. And whenever people fight back or go against the grain, it becomes a big problem. But thankfully, people are voting with their wallets in a smart and intelligent way. People aren't picking games like Concord or Dustborn because we smell through the bullshit now. These people probably don't even really care about true diversity, yet they're trying to inject all of their woke narratives into our media. Everything that we consume, we have to deal with their ideologies. We can never just have games that are fun, which they're supposed to be fun. Video games are supposed to be fun. They're supposed to be an escape from reality. But instead, we're having to listen to all these weird woke people tell us how we're bigots if we don't have enough representation of females in our games or a certain amount of diverse cast of characters, to the point where we're getting games like Dustborn that don't even look fun to play. Like games like Concord that don't even look fun to play. I think things are starting to get back to where they're supposed to be as far as gamings go. And that's because of people like you, like me, that make content, that comment, that watch, that support this whole movement against people like Sweet Baby Inc. Because if we just sat there and did what they told us, we're like, oh, imagine being a middle-aged man crying about video games and crying about this and that, when there's, it's just, they just try to put you as being the unhinged one, even though they're the ones that are angry about straight white male gamers, right? They want their echo chamber. So good on the people that made Black Myth Wukong Game Science for not caving in. And this is just karma collecting for the developers at Red Thread Studios and their Dustborn fail. You love to see this. It's almost poetic justice. The modern audience that they're targeting, again, like I said, simply doesn't exist. Gamers want great gameplay. Gamers want engaging stories, not poorly executed political statements, which is why Black Myth Wukong is fucking crushing it. So avoid Dustborn by all means necessary. I bet you this is going to go on sale really quickly, if not being given out for free. SJW garbage is just ruining this gaming industry, and we sit here and make videos about it every day, and people try to say that we're just grifting over this because we don't believe it. Guys, if any shape, form, or fashion makes you think that you should defend Dustborn, then you're not a gamer either. I'm gonna throw that out there. This is this is exactly what's wrong with the gaming industry. Stick to titles that actually respect the audience. Stick to titles that deliver on their promises. because Dustborn clearly isn't it. Clearly isn't it. And they're going to go the way of the dodo really quickly. So let me know your thoughts, guys. I'll see you on the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.